Okay, good. Well,
I'm
since
working
she,
on
Read
it.
her, read her. Oh,
look,
Maybe not.
Yeah. well, since she doesn't, we better stick to it.
Yeah.
I hate to be full.
Yeah. I mean, I know I look like
but if I do code switch, it's okay.
Yeah. We can share. Yeah,
I'm
me
glad you spoke up. So I don't know what to say.
Yeah, if you want to look for it now, he's there. We're there.
What are you going to?
I don't know. I just opened that big.
All right. Okay, so we're on the page.
Oh, look for it because
We share the live.
yeah.
Does it say that? Just go. So you're in the Facebook now.
Necesito los minutos para la música.
Okay.
Estoy haciendo un.
Está bien.
Just now, I guess the just now is the one that's gonna be
Uh-huh.
live. So we just share that.
Yeah, this one. You'll see us
This one?
right here.
Okay, so just share it.
Share it.
And it goes.
And then you share it wherever you want. Any groups and okay.
You guys got this? I know y'all are probably way better with technology than I am. Say anything. Get tagged everybody.
Do you have your oh, sorry. Yeah, no, I need just now.
So I just shared it?
I think so. Or send.
Oh, send. How do I send it like on a messenger to somebody?
Um,
Okay, anyway, I could do. Oh, so did it send? I don't know if it sent.
Let me send you the
Okay,
Did you
I'm
get it?
just gonna go.
It was the, look, baby, it was the very, I saw it right there as soon as you opened up. Go back.
What?
That link on the message. Go back to your message and open it.
You're teaching me something now.
Because you missed it. You completely missed it.
Where am I going?
Okay, I sent it
Go
to
back to
you.
your message.
My message.
And
So
then
I get out of here.
Oops, sorry.
Oh, there it is. Boom.
Oops,
I have it here. This is
Okay.
the one. Wait,
So that's it.
this one.
Mhm.
Okay. I go there.
So we're live. We got two watchers, guys. That's
Yeah.
only me and that's me and somebody else.
Oh, here, sharing your timeline.
Share your timeline. So how do I do
And
it?
then send, share.
So I did it. So I probably did it twice now.
Right.
Mic check, mic check. All right, so you're sharing. So you're sharing it on the page.
It says share.
That's your? Yes. Okay. Oh, that's us. Wow. Look out. So what do I push play or what? No?
No, we're just live now, and then people can start watching us. We're gonna start in a minute.
Got 7 viewers, ladies and gentlemen. 7 viewers. I mean, it's like, I've done a few with real estate. I mean, it's fun, but it's always different. This was quite different.
Yeah.
But I'm used to it. It's fun.
It's also saying live. And then we'll see.
So wait a minute.
In addition, you'll see a big number.
So how do I get it to be moving? So we play.
I just lower the volume.
Should I push this play button?
Yeah, just,
No.
let's see.
Technology is not my thing.
Cuando digas, yeah.
I'll check us out. We're all up here too.
Oh, it has a delay. Like
Yeah,
4
it has a
seconds.
little delay. I don't know why that's happening.
to his turn.
We should move over so that Brian can get more in the picture. Oh no, he can adjust it there.
4, 3, 2, 1, ahora.
Huh?
There.
What? There he is.
Here, this is you.
Oh, that's. What did I say? What did I I don't know. I just. I saw him do a show yesterday. And I came home to watch. I was talking. And he waved at me. I guess it was him, but he waved at me. And I waved at me, and then they called me out. They were like, "Did you call me?"
Oh my God.
So people actually see it and they can like write messages like, "Yeah, it's kind of like show." Share this message too.
Woo! Yes! All right. We're here and facturando
Facturando.
tu historia en Radio Metroplex. Oh my goodness, ni puedo decir
Again.
mi propia.
Y con ustedes, Dr. B.
Con ustedes, Dr. B, and Facturando Tu Historia. And it's really profit from your story. That's what the whole title is. And Radio Metroplex here in Arlington, Texas, the capital of shows, entertainment, and sports.
Oh.
Right.
Finally.
Finally, I got it right. Anyways, I am so delighted to be here, Dr. B. I'm here with this show because my whole goal is to inspire people around the world, motivate them, and help them gain that next step of success, whatever that might be, especially if they're in any type of depression, if they feel that they're in dark places. The whole show is about telling and sharing our stories so that people can be inspired. You know, we all start somewhere. We started it from zero and then we start again, you know, and there's different phases of our lives. And it's happened to me, and I know that you're here and that you stepped into your greatness, into dancing, because something inspired you, you know, something in life made you become who you are now and shaped you and formed you. So we want to tell our stories today here. I think I lost my glasses, but they're back here. And I'm going to introduce them. So I really want to thank you for being here. And I'm going to start with Melanie and Kane. Give me a second. Kane and Melanie are the owners of my salsa dance company and have been teaching salsa for 15 years. They have a passion for people in dance and have played a major role in building the DFW dance community. So thank you and welcome to the show. So tell us a little bit about, you know, we all go through some type of chaos, some type of struggle. I don't know, kind of take us back of when that happened and then how did it get you to dancing? You know, we'll take turns.
Okay. Individually as people or individually? Okay, I'll start. Well, basically, I was a single mom raising my daughter in Texas. I had no family in Texas. They're all in Chicago. So I was out here on my own, finished school out here, and I pretty much was just in college. I worked and then just wanted to be that great mom. And by the time my daughter was 14, I had like stopped going out. I didn't do anything. It was my daughter and myself because I didn't know any people out here. Okay.
Le bajas tantito porque o lo prendemos cuando baile.
Okay.
Okay.
So basically, everything I did was with my daughter. So I literally stepped out of the world. It was just me and her. So I didn't go to clubs. I didn't do anything because I didn't have anyone that could take care of her. And at 14, I moved my mom out to live out here with me. And so I finally had like a babysitter because I was one of those moms. No, nobody takes care of my child, just me. But anyway, so my daughter, she was 14. She's like, Mom, okay, you've got to get out. Go get a life other than myself because I will be gone one day. I have 4 more years and I'll be off to college. And all you'll have is the cat and the dogs. And she's like, Grandma's here. She'll stay with me now. So that's when I went out to a salsa club, and then it all went from there. And actually, I met Kate.
Yeah.
Wow. Changed her whole life.
So, and then what happened to you in your life that brought you to dance?
Well, I can't honestly say I had any trying or troubling experiences. For me, I started in business when I was pretty young. I was 19 years old, and we had our own family business. But for me, I've always believed in doing what I love to do, or whatever it is, whatever industry I'm working in, I want to love it and enjoy it. So when you do, it doesn't necessarily feel like work. And so I always believed in having hobbies, having something to do with my time that I really enjoy. And when I found salsa, I was already 31. I'm not gonna say how old I am now, but I was 31. And I really fell in love with it. So I went all in. And so I dancing, learning, taking classes, 5 nights a week, going out, practicing and all. But again, looking at my business background and owning companies, the thought that I had is that the DFW area, or specifically the mid-cities area, like Hershey, Bedford, Arlington, there was a need for salsa instruction out here because for classes and all that, we had to go to Dallas, right? And so I felt with my business way of thinking that, man, it would be really cool. I was a pretty natural talent when I started to learn, and I began having more people ask me to teach them and all. And so I was like, you know what? It would be really cool if we opened a dance studio here. And so I was able to get that started. We did that in 2009. And from then, it's just been beautiful. It's been great.
Wow.
So we opened up our dance studio in 2009. And so we're 15 years and 14 years owning the dance studio.
Beautiful.
Very nice. Yeah.
Beautiful. That's
you.
awesome. That's amazing.
Mhm.
Yay. Well, we have our other guests that are here. And so we have Brian. He was born and raised in Dallas with Honduran
Yes.
and Mexican parents. And he's studying business administration as well as in Central Bachata with a full-time job in home remodeling and painting. His plans are to travel as much as he can, learn from favorite artists around the world, and bring his favorite things to home, right?
Yes.
To the studio.
Yes.
And Alpha Midway?
Yes, that's our dance studio.
That's the dance studio. Beautiful. And then Alexis, she's a Texas born and raised, a graduate student at University of Boston for social worker. Dancing became a huge part of her mental health journey and has inspired her further for her dreams of having her own therapy patient practice. And she's trained also in Central Bachata from original instructors of dance, which is Jorge. And she will continue to seek mentoring and guidance from as many different artists as she can, while creating and mastering her own style of Bachata Central. So welcome both of you. Thank you. Thank you for being here. Now tell us the same question. I mean, I know you guys are super young, but there's always something. Even my children, I mean, they've been inspired because of my story, of having cancer and going through 7 years of being in and out of the hospital. And my children were very young. They were 10 and maybe 17, and they stepped into the best version of themselves because of our chaos at home. So I don't know. Do you want to share anything?
Yeah, I can start because I feel like my experience with mental health is really the catalyst that brought me to dancing in the first place. So I feel like COVID was a really hard time for a lot of people, especially, I'm still pretty young. I'm only 22. So I feel like for my generation that's so immersed in social media and with all of these different influences, we just had a really hard time. I think everyone struggled in their own way. And for me, definitely was a battle of me and my mind. And so in 2020, I got diagnosed with obsessive compulsive disorder. And it was probably one of the worst experiences of my whole life. And so I was in recovery, and my therapist asked me, what is something that you want to do that you felt like you can't, or you feel like you can't? And I said, I've always wanted to learn how to dance. And I thought it was too late because, a bunch of people start dancing when they're itty bitty and they have to be prodigies to be good and to get somewhere. And so I felt like that wasn't attainable for me. And so whenever I saw that, it was very possible for me to start dancing, well, I'm going to take that up, right? And I'm half Mexican, so I wanted to get more in touch with my cultural roots and to be more in touch with that side of my personal history. So I was just really feeling isolated. I was in the middle of transferring colleges. I mean, isolation was a huge part of COVID anyways. So I was feeling super lonely, super depressed. My partner at the time had just moved across the country, so I was super alone. So I was like, I'm just gonna bite the bullet. I'm gonna go by myself to a place that I've never been to before. And so I took my first class. I took my first bachata class, and I fell in love with it. I remember the following day I went to Charisma and I got a pair of shoes. And I was just so excited, and it just became something that could keep my mind occupied. And so whenever I was struggling with intrusive thoughts and obsessive thinking, like my brain tried to tug at me and be like, hey, pay attention to me, pay attention to me. But I was like, no, I'm dancing. Like, this is where I can escape. And it was like, it became such a huge help for me and my mental health. Not only was it a good form of exercise and a way to express myself creatively, but I also met so many great people. I created a community, a friendship, a group of friends that I love, and I also met Brian in the dance community. So that's my biggest blessing. But yeah, so it's just been such an amazing experience, and I can't imagine myself not dancing ever again. So,
Absolutely. Yeah, and I think that the mental health issue has been huge, especially after COVID.
Yeah.
And I think dancing, I mean, it's helped me with the stress level and getting away from my computer, because I'm always at the computer since I am a publisher. I'm always just there on the computer working. But being able to move away and finding dancing and entertaining yourself and movement moves all that stress out of the body. Right?
It's really interesting that when it comes to dance, it has so many positive effects. And the thing, you as instructors, and I know you guys kind of find the same thing, you never really know what people are going through,
right?
And what brings them to your studio. So we've had several students come in and they're in just bad places.
Even in tears, we've had
and so we find that we're, in a sense, we're therapists. And
dance therapists.
And it's a beautiful thing because it literally changes lives. When they find something they can be passionate about and they're well accepted. And of course we can, we feel great because we play a good role into, bringing them back to a good place.
And it creates if they're coming from a bad place, it creates a greater sense of self.
Yeah.
They feel like, wow, okay, I'm a part of something. I can actually do this. And it builds them, especially when we've received those students that are broken, and we've had many of those. We see their change as they're taking classes, as they start to socialize with everyone else. We see the change and the growth, and it is really rewarding.
Yeah.
It is. Very much.
People fall in love with another part of themselves.
That's right.
Yes.
That's right. That's huge.
Tell
That's
us your
huge.
story, Brian.
Yes.
Well, for me, it was, falling in love with that part of myself. I played soccer for 9 years before starting to dance. And, went to an all-boys Catholic high school in Dallas called Jesuit Dallas. And it was all boys, so it was a college prep, and I didn't really, connect with girls a lot, so it was a different time. But I was at high school. I was at
And bachata is the exact.
Yeah, right?
Totally.
And well, I graduated from that high school, and I was like, I need to meet girls, you know. Well,
First priority.
I went to the first couple I knew, my parents, you know, and they also met in the Dallas Latin dance scene from the same teacher that taught me salsa. I won't name names. It was there in this year too.
That's really cool.
Yes.
Yes. We need to know.
Yeah.
Okay.
We need to know this person.
But yeah, and I found Bachata and Sebastian and Lisa.
Nice. Oh, wow. They're amazing.
Yeah.
Yes.
They were great.
Absolutely.
They really like took me in for sure. Like when I was in my struggles, they brought me in and made me feel like I belong. And they created such a good family there for us. So
Yeah, nice warm environment. I mean, they're both very awesome.
Yeah.
Personalities individually and in the group
they're
teaching
awesome.
settings.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
And they were like our first like role models in the dance scene, you know, and we fell in love with it more and more. We met so many great people, and my parents actually go out dancing more than we do.
Yeah.
You know, they're always there. Like we're all at the hangout last night, and they're always there. You know, they always have
That's
their
awesome.
Yeah, and I started following and hanging out with them, you know, because I did the same thing. I was stressed. I really didn't know anybody. Met a friend who introduced me to the salsa and bachata during the Dallas festival.
Okay.
And then I started looking for places. So I just show up, and then I started seeing them over and over. And I'm like, okay, I'll hang out with
Oh,
them.
yeah.
You know, and the community is so welcoming.
They're so receptive. Yes.
Yes.
Inclusive. I mean, of race, gender, sexuality. Like
Absolutely.
it's so awesome. I love seeing how inclusive everybody is.
It is. And you know, one of the reasons that I actually started getting into it was because, like I mentioned, I had cancer. And when you have cancer, there's, you know, I lost my hair, I lost a lot of things in you know, warrior scars. And then it was like, okay, after, you know, because I went bankruptcy, divorce, blah, 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 everything's in the book. And I'm going to talk about it really quick just to let people know. My book is out. It's hot and warm. Oh my God, it's burning. So you need to go out there and get it. It's Dear to Be Me Through Cancer. Getting Crystal Clear on How to Fly. There's many authors here that tell their story as well on their battle and struggles with cancer. But after I went through it and realized, you know what, I want to have fun. I want to enjoy life and find myself again. I'm writing a book called Sexy After Cancer.
That's
So
awesome.
that one should be coming out in October. I'm going to put myself out there so it's done. But Central Bachata and Salsa have helped me tap into that sexy part of me
Yes, so
in
true.
so many ways. So let's talk about how it makes people feel, you know, any comments that you might have.
Well, at first, you know, we were all there. At first, you might feel anxious. You might feel like, oh my gosh, there's a whole bunch of people in one room dancing. Like, I don't know how to dance. But, I mean, nobody is born dancing. Nobody comes out the womb dancing, right? So, at first, it might be a little bit intimidating. But you start to meet people and talk to the people who just want to get there and let loose from work, you know, dance and meet people and make friends. And, I mean, they're there and not, I mean, somewhere else doing bad things. They're there doing good things, like my dad says. So it might feel a little intimidating, but it's something that you can really immerse yourself in and really become part of a community of people that share the same passions with you. And it's really, I can name something off the top of my head, something else that it could do something.
Right.
Exactly.
It's
Yes.
huge. It's huge.
It's huge. I want to say hi to all those that are watching right now. I know some of you are dropping by. I want to say hi to the Facebook people. Hi, YouTube. Hello, everybody.
Hello.
And I know Instagram also. I want to say hello to people on Instagram. Make sure that you go and get our app. It's the Radio Metroplex app, and you can download it on your phone, and then that way you can always watch. Google Play also has Radio Metroplex. You can go ahead and download it. That way it's easy access, and you can watch us every Friday at 5 p.m. Central. So do we bring in Amelia? Yeah, she's here. Yeah, let's bring Amelia really quick. She's here, and then we'll continue our talk.
All right.
Okay.
Very good.
Hi. Can you hear me?
Hello, hello.
Can you hear?
How are you, Amelia?
Hi, can you hear me well?
We can hear you. Yes, we
Okay.
can. Let me introduce you, Amelia, before you start. Amelia is from Norway. She's an amazing friend. I went there and visited her, last year? We spent an amazing 10 weeks together, hiking, healing, connecting with other women. There in Norway, that we did some workshops. She's also in this book, and she tells her cancer story and how she's also a dancer and done amazing work. She's also part of the 100 most successful women around the world. And I also published this book for them. We launched it in London. So Amelia, there you go,
There it is.
Amelia.
Let's go.
This is my third book also.
Yes, she has her own book too that she published. She's an author. A ver, there you go. What's the name of it? Say it.
It's Find Yourself Handbook.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Well, tell us a little bit of why you started dancing, Amelia.
Oh my God, I've been dancing all my life. I started 3 years ago and it saved my life. As I write about in, I think, several of the books, I was traumatized for my whole childhood and until I was 16. So the dancing was helping me to, you have these stress and fear hormones, and the dance has these happy hormones. So I got somehow the balance to survive, So I always say that dancing and movement has saved my life. And I've been dancing since I was 3 years old. It started with gymnastics, and then it was rhythm gymnastic, I think I call it. I don't know. I'm Norwegian, so my English is not perfect. And then I did ballet and jazz ballet and hip hop and, more and more dances. Then I opened my first dance studio when I was 18. So I was very young. But then I moved to Spain and I worked as a professional dancer there and also in Sweden so I was abroad for 10 years. And then I came back to Norway and I started another dance studio. To make it very short, Corona came, I had to put it down for a while, and I reopened it in February now this year.
Yes.
So I'm very happy.
Yes, all right, Amelia.
Yes. So ask me questions, girl.
Well, one of the questions that we had, and we can all have a conversation together, whoever wants to talk on how dancing makes us feel sexy and brings us back to life, like you were mentioning. So anybody who wants to take that conversation.
Well, I'll start.
Mm-hmm.
I'd have to say, like with myself, because I was a single mom, my role was only that.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't really have close friends. I mean, I didn't have friends in Texas or family, so it was just me and her. And when I first went out dancing, I was just so excited. I was like, wow. And then I met Kane, and I was extremely shy when I would dance. Mm-hmm. Extremely shy, very insecure about my body movement, everything. And dancing allowed me to learn myself again, because my only role was my daughter. Mm-hmm. And she was my life. And when I finally started living for myself a little bit, being a mom still, but mm-hmm. actually learning how to live for me again and experiencing things for myself only. And it actually made me blossom and continue to grow as a person. And I was already in my late 30s, mm-hmm. but all I knew is being that mom, the best mom I could be, and a hard worker. Mm-hmm. And my shyness was like out the door. And I blossomed I've blossomed and I grew tremendously as a person because of dance.
Mm.
Because of dance, and all shyness just disappeared. So it was really wonderful for me. I became so much more outspoken. Just everything. I actually found myself again. I think.
Yeah.
It's a community though, like and just the feeling when you begin to gain that confidence in something that you love and you see you're not the only one.
Yeah.
Like there's a lot of people in these class settings that started like Brian mentioned earlier, like we all started at this place, you know what I mean? And so when you enter it, you know, I remember when I first started to dance, and I remember how I was as opposed to how I am now. You know, it really opens you up once you build the confidence, and once you see other people are, you know, they may have their same struggles, but you see them blossom as well. And it's really a beautiful thing because once you find that passion and you feel like you have something that is yours,
Yeah.
you know, you share this with so many people in this community of dance. I mean, it's almost universal. You can take it anywhere and dance.
Yeah.
And you have that in common with so many people. And so you almost have a family wherever you go because you have that mutual interest.
Absolutely. Like Amelia, when I went to Norway, Amelia took me to a social dance in Norway, and I was like, social dance?
Yeah.
Salsa in Norway? Right, Amelia?
You're welcome. You can join. Could you hear me?
Now
Yes.
we can.
Okay, next time you can bring them. You know,
Bring them,
We would love to.
absolutely.
I'd love to come.
I have many bedrooms, so
And now she has
Let's-
a dance studio.
Wow.
So she's like, you need to come and bring people over here.
Yeah.
So, right,
That'd be
Amelia?
awesome,
absolutely. And I
Yeah.
love what you told me about how you changed as a person when you dance and you find yourself. Because what I do in Norway, because I'm also a coach, I have how do you say it, personal development and growth, finding dance and body movement. So I'm joining the two, and they have such beautiful transformations. Doing all these dancing, but also learning about how we work and how important it is to express ourselves with our bodies, you know, getting it all out without words, because not everyone can deal with the words, you know, talking about it, but they can express it with their body,
Yes,
you know. So,
Yeah. Kind of, yeah. I think it's delayed.
That's
Yeah,
huge.
that's huge.
Yeah.
I just want to kind of touch on something that you said, just about how I think it's how the confidence that you get from dancing transpires over to other areas of life. I think that's very huge for me and my experience with dancing. Like I've been with my therapist for probably like over 2 years almost. So we've been seeing each other for a while. And she was with me before I started dancing, and she saw my transformation after I started dancing too. And when it comes to at least mental health and just coming into your own skin and developing that confidence and personal development, it takes a lot of confidence just to do that, because self-acceptance and self-compassion, that you have to be confident in who you are, and you have to know that, you know, I'm worthy of this. I am able to do hard things. And so because I stepped so far out of my comfort zone, that confidence was able to be applied to my recovery. And so I was able to do my therapy more frequently without being so overwhelmed by it. I was, like you said, you were more outspoken. It just changes who you are as a person. And I think you can kind of tell by the way someone dances how they view themselves. And so you can see, like, as my mental health got better and as my confidence grew, my dancing would become bigger and more sexy and more sensual and
Expressive.
yes, expressive and at that point, it was like, I'm not even dancing for other people. I'm dancing for me. Like this is something that I love. And so I think it's crazy to see how if you choose one area of your life to really build confidence and put energy and time into, just how that affects all the other areas and components of your life in a more positive, more positive light, more positive aspect. So.
Yeah.
That's great.
And for those of you that are listening, one of the things that I've noticed as NLP trainer and hypnosis trainer is that I've noticed that one of the beliefs is that I'm not good enough and I'm not worthy enough. Those are two huge ones that I've noticed as common themes throughout people's lives. And the confidence level is always very, very low. But again, like if you can continue seeing your therapist, just like Alexis says, but you need to join either Amelia in Norway or here in Texas, join Brian, Alexis, Kane, and Melanie, because they will teach you dancing so that you can get in touch with yourself and you can break away from those limiting beliefs that I'm not good enough, I'm not worthy, or I'm not sexy enough, right?
Yeah.
Or pretty enough. And it begins to change your whole being, I think, because it has with me, and it's only been a couple of months since October. That's why I still don't know how to dance. I'm still learning.
Well, you looked awesome yesterday.
You did.
I was
You
watching
did.
you.
Yeah. I'm learning.
Angelica, when you were in Norway, you
I was
didn't
stepping on
dance that
everybody's
much.
I was stepping on everybody's toes.
But I think that's when you said, I'm going to learn this.
Yes.
Yeah.
And you did. So,
Were they dancing on two? Salsa on two?
no, on one.
Oh, well, I thought it was so difficult then. I was like, no.
It's hard. It's okay.
It was hard. And I would tell everybody, you think if you thought I don't know how to dance right now, like I didn't know how to dance then. And I was there with her. It was embarrassing.
We danced last night and you actually did quite well. I think if it's been so many months since you've been there, you would probably be pretty impressed with her at this point.
Yeah, you will, Amelia. When I go back, you're not gonna.
I know her enough to know that, yes, because she's never doing anything halfway.
Never.
Right, yeah.
I'm either 100% in or not in at all.
Yes, that's you. So I know that you're going to grow so fast.
Yeah.
So I believe it. I have a text that I wrote.
Say it. Read it.
If I can read it just very
Absolutely.
quickly, because it is about what we are talking about now. So our world is in a healing crisis, and many people are disconnected from their bodies. Self-development and mental health have fallen short, thinking we can figure it all out at the mind level. Yes, this is important, but not everything. Dance and body movement has been used for centuries to express emotions, connect with others, and heal the body and mind. And in my mind, there are one of the best ways to feel, express, and release stuck emotions. Adding somatic, bodily, and nervous system soothing techniques calms the body and brings us back home. Just a little bit more. Research shows that dance and body movement can effectively treat various mental health conditions such as depression, anxiety, and post-traumatic stress syndrome. It can also help to reduce stress and increase self-esteem and body awareness. Through dance and body movement, people can explore and release emotions, connect with their bodies, and express themselves with creatively and non-verbally. In today's fast-paced and technologically driven world, many people are disconnected from their bodies and emotions, often leading to physical and mental health problems. Therefore, dance and body movement can be a valuable way to reconnect with yourself and others and promote healing and well-being. Allowing yourself to embrace your emotions, feel them, and express them will help you to feel alive. And Martha Graham said, dance is the hidden language of the soul.
Oh,
And I totally
beautiful.
agree.
I love it. Wow. I love it, Amelia.
I had to write something because when you're from another country and English is not your first language,
Amiga, you speak 3 languages or more. So what are you talking about? She speaks Spanish, English, and Norwegian. Wow.
Just don't ask us to speak Norwegian.
Yeah, don't ask us to speak Norwegian, Amelia.
hablaremos en español.
Porque no vamos a poder hablar Norwegian. Maybe español, pero no en Norwegian. Okay, amiga. Let me read some of the messages. Rolando Homero says, "You, mi gente." Jacqueline Delgado, excelente. Saludos. And then you say you're here. Amiga. Diamantina, saluditos, Angélica, and invitados. And then we have Rolando says hello to Melanie, Kane, Alexis, Brian. He says that you guys are incredible people.
Thank you.
He's an incredible
Orlando, he is. He's
person.
awesome.
Yeah. And then says you guys are on fire. And then Sid, I don't know how to pronounce that name.
He just goes by Sid.
Sid, okay, sorry, Sid, I apologize. Love this discussion. And then Faith says, my teacher's Kane, Kong, Melanie, Rosario, love you to pieces. And it's too cool to hear from our dance community around
That's awesome.
the
Love you too,
world.
man.
So good.
Yes.
Thank you.
Rolando says, here's a few questions for your panel. Okay, let's listen. Woo!
Uh-oh.
Who is your inspiration?
Like dancing?
I guess, yeah.
Well, I can start.
Okay.
So bachata sensual is a subset of bachata, and it was created really recently, about 15, 20 years ago. And the creators, their names are Corky and Judith, and we had the absolute privilege of being mentored and trained by them with proper technique and just all of the essence of bachata sensual. And so we have just gotten to get to know them and get to know their style and the kind of people that they are. And I just really admire when someone is real. I've been to a lot of congresses and I've danced with a lot of the big names in the bachata scene, but they don't really stand out to me if they are acting like I don't mean anything to them, you know? And so Corky and Judith are just such incredible people. They're so kind and welcoming and inviting. They really view the bachata sensual company as a family. And I've just really loved that. They're very inclusive, and not only are they incredible people, they're also hilarious and such talented dancers. So they're definitely my biggest inspirations, dance-wise. And I think Brian can probably say
For
the same
me,
thing.
I would say also Corky and Judith and Pablo Raquel,
Yeah.
who are also students of theirs, and they carry those same values that they do.
Yeah, they have a really good value system. They are so like invested in each other and so sweet to each other and humble, down to earth. And that's how we want to be, you know, wherever dance decides to take us. We want to always keep in touch with that, just very like that humanness, you know. So those are
I love that. And the fact that you touch on like the real values that people have, like they're inspiring qualities. You know what I mean? People who like for us or for me, like people who've been doing this for a long time, that when I came in, they looked at me and said, man, you know, you've got something. And obviously they would invest time and you know, create events and create things and be inclusive, like including you. These are the kind of people who've been in the scene for a long time and that are still, you know, in the scene that we're surrounded by, that we see. Like we support people, we support Jay Styles, we support Augie, who's now here from New York. He was Sandunga for a long time. But many of the instructors along through the years, we've been inspired by. You know, there's a lot of great people out this way. Even, I don't know, Ramiro Gonzalez is one that he's just, you know, amazing. And even the people who are currently doing things right now, like we got mad respect for Johan and Alyssa. We've got, you know, crazy good. And then you've got Dejan and Chloe
amazing
and
people.
you know, we find inspiration in a lot of different places. We've been in this so long, we've seen people come and go, but it's just really nice to be exposed to people who will take the time and invest that into the dance community with efforts to see it grow and assist in the growth of it. So I'm really inspired by that.
Good. How about you, Amelia? Do you have somebody that inspired you as a dancer?
It's too many, but what I'm gonna say, because I know so many, I'm not gonna mention one or two. So I'm gonna just say I love them, a lot of them. And what's important for me is that they are dancing with their hearts, and that that the dance, it comes from inside. So my favorite persons or dancers are the ones dancing from their heart and from within. That's my answer.
I like it. I like that answer. So the next question that Rolando, you're really pushing us. Thank you very much. He's like, best
That's what he
advice
does.
you received from someone.
We're gonna move right past.
This one has been really big for me, because me and Brian just started teaching back in December, so we're very new to like the teacher community in Dallas, and I think after we accepted the role as a teacher, we put a lot of pressure on ourselves, and we became very perfectionistic in a very bad way, and we were just caring too much about what other people thought about us. My therapist told me that what other people think about me is none of my business.
There you go.
And so just letting go of that.
I love that advice.
Just blowing that off my shoulder and just, again, going back to what I want and doing it for me. I think that's been super helpful.
Yeah.
I think as far as dance, like you guys said, dance for yourself. I think a lot of the time we're dancing for other people, but really what we should focus on is the enjoyment that we feel dancing to the song that we're listening to.
That's huge.
Yeah.
That's huge.
I agree.
Yeah.
You know what, Orlando? I'm going to bring you here to the studio. So you can be my co-host.
Right, we need to interview him.
Yeah, I'm going to interview you.
He would be great.
Good questions, Orlando. And then he wants to know, how do you handle performance anxiety?
Oh, wow.
I don't think it ever goes away, does it? Or
I don't think so. I think at some point you tend to get more comfortable with it. Like when we were performing way back when. There's little tricks that you can apply. Like not making eye contact with people in the audience and like
looking over their
above heads and all that. But you still you have to channel it.
Yeah.
You really, really have to channel it and focus on what you practice for. You know what I mean? And repetition is key.
Right,
But I mean, I think it's a great thing to do is challenge yourself with the performance, because a lot of people who come and who enter into the dance scene, they've never performed anything. And to get in front of a large group of people to say something or do some act there's a tremendous amount of pressure. And to overcome that and just do one, you become hungry for more.
Right.
But just before every performance, you're gonna go through the same emotions. So it's
you
interesting.
will. Yeah, you will go through all the emotions. Like Kate, you guys know Kate also, and she gave us a challenge, taught us some steps for 3 hours, and then we performed at Dance Makers of Texas.
Yes,
I saw you, right?
yes.
I was so nervous because I'm like so new into dancing, and I was like, I'm just gonna do it just because I want to do everything 100%. Because I almost died so many times in life. It's like I'm always daring myself to be someone who I'm not. So that I can step out of my comfort zone. And so anyways, we're going to get there.
Shout out to Dance Makers of Texas.
Yes,
too.
Dance Makers, Amanda, if you're watching this.
Can I mention something really quick?
Yes.
I do want to say this. We all as performers, we do the best we can to be out there. And one thing, like our first performance, there's one thing I really want to talk about. Our first performance, there was this guy, his front row. It was a theater in Fort Worth. And he's this big biker guy. He's like this, just looking at us.
Like the
hard.
whole performance, man.
He's just
we were
like
he's
looking at
hating
it.
this whole
And
performance.
he's getting in my head bad, like, because I can just see him. He's right in front of me. And I'm like, oh my gosh, he just hates this performance. But I kept saying, look, I'm doing this. I'm doing this. At the end of the performance, he stood up and was like,
He's like,
so serious.
yes. Yeah.
And so if there's one thing you got to know when you perform it, you're doing it because you love it. You're doing, and you just got to remember it's for them, but you're doing the best job you can.
Right.
Mhm.
And you know, if that can just be comfortable, you never know what they're thinking.
Exactly.
You never know what they're thinking. We just thought it was the worst performance ever in his eyes. And he was like,
He's one of those hard-looking guys. That's his arms crossed like,
You
what are
would
these
read
two
out.
going up here?
and it was my first performance. It made
Oh
me a
my
nervous
God.
wreck, but I learned from that. I learned to never focus on anyone again, number one, and you just don't know what they're even thinking. He loved it.
Exactly. He loved
Yeah.
it. He loved it.
Yeah.
Amelia, I know that it's almost 12 a.m.
Yeah.
side of the world. So give us a message for the audience who's watching. What do you want them to walk away with your message?
Oh, I believe in holistic health. So remember, if you dance or if you just do something else, remember it's mind, it's heart, it's body, and it's soul. And bring it all together and you will be fine. Put yourself first, fill your own cup first, and then you can automatically have energy and give to others. So, but you cannot do that if you don't take care of yourself. And dancing is the best medicine. Also, because you mentioned the community, it's everything. It's like a family, isn't it? It's like coming home.
Absolutely. I love it. You know that dancing is your best medicine. And not only that, but you know, when you fill your cup up, then you can fill somebody else's cup as well. Because how can you fill somebody's cup when it's practically empty, right? So I love your message and know that I love you, Amelia. I am gonna go back to Norway and you and I are gonna do something big in Spain. So
Absolutely.
Your plans to go to Spain.
Yeah, and one day I come to you.
Absolutely, you have to come here.
For sure.
But remember, I'm 56, so I'm not performing anymore.
Okay, you're dancing at your studio, so
I'm teaching, but I'm not performing. I have Sarah with me. You know, she's 32. She still can do that, so I can watch and take photos and stuff.
Absolutely. We say, give Sarah a hug for me when you see her. And I love you, Amelia, and we're going to stay connected.
Yeah, I love you too. Take care.
Adios, amiga. Okay, and then we have Rolando. He says there are shortcuts to happiness, and dancing is one of them. And he says that Jorge and Judith rock. And then he does laugh when we invite him to the show. Blanca Ramirez says, shout out to some of our favorites in the community, Cliff and Blanca.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Yes. So I am delighted that Facebook people are watching this, YouTube and Instagram. We send you hugs and make sure that you send us messages here. If you have any questions, feel free to ask the questions because we'll come back, right? And we'll answer them and direct you. And of course, where can people find you and join your classes? Like, what classes are you teaching?
Right now, we are teaching beginner and intermediate salsa. We also teach beginner and low level intermediate bachata. And
So we teach 5 nights a week. If you guys want information on us, it's visit mysalsadancestudio.com and you'll find us. So we're 5 nights a week, and we're doing private lessons as well. So
and we have different venues that we're at. So
Hearst, Bedford, and Arlington.
Okay.
So
what I suggest is you can put them in the messages later on. Just put the links there. People can find you and connect with you. And you need to, even before I met them, I went to Dream Taco, and that's where I met them. I saw them, and I was like, I love their energy. they were celebrating somebody's birthday, which they always do
Yeah.
on Wednesday.
Yes.
And I connected with them immediately, and I was like, I don't know, I will invite them
I'm
to
glad
the
you did.
interview.
Yes,
Thank you.
we're so
Thank you so much.
honored that you did.
Yes, so thank you.
Mhm.
Where can people find you, and what is it that you're teaching?
Well, for us, we teach mostly bachata, but we also have salsa, anything available. You know, we all have communities. We all get together at the socials, and we do this, you know. And we're at Alpha Midway Dance Studio in Addison. We teach every single day of the week, any type of class that you want. We have workshops varying every Friday of the month.
We have a really great team at Alpha Midway. We have Sal, we have Haley, Lindsay, Orlando, and they're such great people, fun to dance with. So they're super awesome. So definitely check out their classes. We mainly teach on Tuesday nights. That's when our bachata sensual classes are. We also offer private lessons, and other than that, that's pretty much it. So Alpha Midway.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Well, also the same thing, make sure you post your links, everything, so that they can find you. And then I will copy paste them on, or if you go and find us on Instagram also, you can do it there, or I'll post your links there. What we're gonna do for you, we're gonna have fun right now. We're gonna dance.
Okay.
So, we have to dance. Like if you're dancing, you have to dance live here.
That is
And
the finale.
yeah, it is. So we're gonna do some dancing, and we're hoping that you join us. And I'm gonna stand and move. Sí, para acá. Okay. So let's stand, and we're gonna move our
First
chairs.
Sure.
All right. We're doing this.
We're gonna do this.
Tú con los primeros dos y luego los siguientes dos.
Okay.
Sí, okay. So ¿dónde van a bailar acá?
Okay.
Okay, so van a bailar ellos. Los voy a dejar que ellos vayan primero solos. Okay.
In our little stage.
Yeah. That'll room to work with.
Right? Okay, we'll keep it close.
Para que
Get as sensual as you're gonna be,
Right.
right?
Right.
Ok, ¿cuál es la de ellos?
Es la primera.
Sí, pero
Ah, no me acuerdo.
métalo.
What was your song? Como antes.
So, voy presentándolos.
Okay. So right now we have Brian and Alexis. They're gonna be dancing a bachata, and it's como antes. So Facebook, Instagram, don't shut us down because it's not our music, but we need it for them to dance. Okay, so we'll put there that we don't own the rights to the music.
Quiero confesarte que hace mucho dejé de querer algo más que una mente, porque nadie me daba un motivo para intentar, pero eso ya se me pasó con lo que conocí. Oh, sabes que me muero, ahora siento sentir esas cosas que ya no se sienten, porque ahora me voy al pasado y no traigo el presente, y aunque muy claro te parezca, yo necesito que tú entiendas. Quiero enamorarte como antes, de la forma en que lo hacían nuestros padres, cuando el amor era mucho más interesante, cuando te abría la puerta, todo de forma correcta. Sabes que yo quiero enamorarte como antes, de la forma en que lo hacían nuestros padres, cuando el amor era mucho más interesante. Yo solo quiero amarte como antes. Como antes, quiero enamorarte como antes, cuando no pasaba todo en un instante, cuando pensaba pedir permiso, cuando no había que bailar hasta el piso, cuando la noche se daba mujer, cuando el sexo no era fundamental. Aquí, quiero enamorarte como antes, de la forma en que lo hacían nuestros padres, cuando el amor como antes. Déjame invitarte a una cena. Yo quiero ser quien te abra la puerta. Quiero dedicarte ese bolero para que te entiendas todo lo que yo te quiero. Tengo la necesidad, te juro que tengo la necesidad de demostrarte que tú entiendas. Quiero enamorarte como antes, de la forma en que lo hacían nuestros padres. Cuando el amor era mucho más interesante, cuando te abría la puerta, todo de forma correcta. Sabes que yo quiero enamorarte como antes, de la forma en que lo hacían nuestros padres. Cuando el amor era mucho más interesante, yo solo quiero amarte como antes. Oye, somos tu grupo. Se llama como antes. ¡Ay, Dios!
¡Bravo! Seguimos en vivo.
Sí, seguimos aquí en vivo en Radio Metroplex en Facturando Tu Historia with Dr. B. Y tenemos a otros invitados que han estado
Aplausos.
escuchando de ellos, right? Here I go. I went into Spanish. I always do that, go back and forth. But we have our amazing visitors, Melody and Kate, and they're going to be dancing salsa. Stay
Keep it
tuned.
linear. Keep it linear.
We have to. Yes. Man, you guys did beautiful. We gotta start taking bachata classes. Yeah, but,
Yeah, Tiffany.
not a whole lot of room, but it's good.
One second, please.
Not
Not
really.
that.
Not
Slippery
really,
floor.
Okay. So, miran el área. Be careful, please.
Yeah, we have to be.
Okay, 3, 2, 1.
We're gonna tear up the room in here. A lot of stuff going on over
Y ahora una demostración de salsa en vivo desde la cabina de Radio Metroplex en restaurante aquí disfrutando esas funciones de baile Facturando Tu Historia con la gente de la licencia. Aquí en las instalaciones de Radio Metroplex esta demostración está llevando a cabo el baile de salsa.
All right, we're slowing down. Turning my back.
Aplausos, por favor. Eso es como termina Facturando Tu Historia en esta tarde, aquí en la cabina de Radio Metro Play, en Arlington, Texas, la capital del deporte, el espectáculo y el entretenimiento. Agradecemos a nuestros invitados el día de hoy, así que gracias por haber sintonizado Facturando Tu Historia con Angélica Benavides, Dr. B. Nos vemos el próximo viernes a las 5 de la tarde con grandes invitados para todos ustedes.
Sí, gracias, nos vemos.
Estamos
We just want to thank you for watching this, and we're going to ask that you share, because we never know, you never know who out there will need this inspiration, this helping them tap into joy through dancing and connect with these amazing dancers. You know, contact them, because it's either salsa, bachata, anything. Just move your body, because that's how you're going to tap into joy again. I'll see you again next Friday at 5 p.m. Central. See ya.
Thank you guys.
Yes. All right. You're welcome. Fun
Thank
show.
you so
Thank you.
much.
Thank you so much.